Hello, my name is Molly Frey and I'm an OMS 2 at the OUH Dublin campus, and today I'm going to be discussing my research titled Risk Factors for the Mental Health of Adolescents from the Parental Perspective, Photo Voice in Rural Communities of Ecuador. This project was a collaborative study between Ohio University's Infectious and Tropical Disease Institute and Pusey University in Ecuador. And I would just like to start by saying that I am extremely grateful to the members of the community that I was able to interact with. I learned an immense amount, and I'm so excited to share with you a little bit of what I learned today. Mental health in adolescence is a very important topic worldwide, especially in rural areas, since some of these communities face limitations in terms of knowledge of the subject and accessibility to health services. In the region, suicide is the third leading cause of death among adolescents aged 15 to 19. Our research team wanted to identify risk factors at the personal, family, or community level for mental health in adolescents living in the rural communities of Ecuador, and then have the community members represent these risk factors through photos. The communities included in our study were Bella Maria, Chiquishka, and Guara, which are located approximately 30 to 45 minutes on an extremely windy dirt road from Cariamanga, which is the closest city in the southern part of Loja province, Ecuador. Our research question was, what are the risk factors for the mental health of adolescents from the perspective of parents or members of the community? This qualitative study was based on the participatory action research with a methodological focus on the exploration of concrete social needs to guide action. The participatory action research through the photo voice method was a way to encourage adults in these communities to recognize problematic situations that threaten the well-being of adolescents, but that in everyday life may go unnoticed by parents or caregivers. We had 29 participants participate in 5 different focus groups across the 3 rural communities. Each community has a single teacher school that children attend until they start their high school education in the nearest town, Cariamanga. At this point, they move to Cariamanga and return to the communities over the weekends, or they travel to the town each morning and return in the afternoon with a commuting time of at least 1 hour. There are some health promoters in each community, but the closest health center is located in Cariamanga. Due to the travel time, access to health and education services is a challenge for the inhabitants of the 3 communities. Most of the focus group discussions took place in the classrooms of the 3 schools. Due to the characteristics of the community, some focus groups were held in the houses of the participants during the first phase of the study. The implementation of the photo voice activity took place in the surroundings of the community where the lives of the subjects under study normally take place. In the personal risk factor category, sleep deprivation and the constant load of stress due to external and internal demands related to personal characteristics or educational institutions was identified. Both stress and sleep deprivation were related to the disadvantage of not being able to continue with secondary education in their communities due to inability to make the travel or inability to financially afford it. It costs $1 for them to travel from their communities to the closest city, Cariamanga, and $1 in their community is extremely expensive. The government used to provide that money, and now they do not. So this can be a barrier for children to continue their education, their high school education. Amongst family risk factors, inadequate supervision, lack of affection, and intimate partner violence were noted to negatively impact adolescent mental health and decision-making. Community risk factors included norms in the community related to alcohol consumption by adults and minors, lack of preventative education to promote mental health in adolescents, lack of transportation, limited access to secondary education, and lack of economic opportunity and support. The parents that then took photographs to represent risk factors, which are shown here. This is the only way I could figure out how to show you guys these. So these were the pictures that they used to represent the risk factors. This one is showing the alcohol consumption. This is a ranchera that they would travel to Cariamanga every morning. And these are 2 pictures representing the schools in Chiquishka. I'm sorry, this is the only way. I'm not tech savvy to show you those pictures. In conclusion, we point out the importance of this intervention to explore the knowledge and understanding of the topic by parents, as well as to communicate information that demystifies false beliefs around mental health. The importance of follow-up long-term is important, as well as working with the adolescents specifically in the promotion of their mental health. We are utilizing the information gathered from our research to bring awareness to local authorities to trigger social change in their communities. Thanks for listening.